welcome back to the Wild Thoughts Pod. We're back with another episode. So today's episode, we're going to be talking about body positivity. We feel like it's a good time to talk about this. I mean, it's always a good time, but especially because the holiday seasons are approaching. We know we're having feasts a lot, so we might feel feasts, we might feel a little more insecure consuming that yummy food. But
you shouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. You should not. But yeah, we're going to be focusing on that and talking about everything related to body positivity. So let's get into it.
We're first going to get into what does body positivity mean to us. So to me, it means just feeling confident in your own skin and like being able to feel so comfortable with yourself that even if people like make comments or like, how internet trolls like come in, even if they say something, like it doesn't faze you.
Exactly.
You're kind of like,
you're not bothered.
I love myself, so who cares? It's also focusing on like self-care and really prioritizing yourself, how you feel about yourself, and like remembering that it's okay that you don't always have to love your body, but you should be kind to yourself. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like not put so much pressure.
Yeah.
And exactly.
Yeah.
Be kind.
Also dressing for yourself, okay? Because I used to be that person that was like, oh, you have to dress for your body type to like look the best, blah, blah, blah. And like now that I am an adult, a 24-year-old woman, now it's like just wear what you want as long as you feel comfortable.
Exactly. Yeah. It's kind of like also the notion of like, if you're not the ideal beauty standard, you wouldn't wear like crop tops or things like that, but it's like, no, crop tops are made for everyone.
Exactly.
Whatever you want is made for you. You know what I mean?
You just have to feel comfortable, and if you feel comfortable and confident, who cares?
Exactly. And just find the right crop top, let's say, because maybe some of them you might not like on you, or it also depends the brand. Like I said, some are just, they have more variety or things like
exactly.
that.
And just like also, yes, you're being kind to yourself, but be kind to others in spite of their body types, their like just how their body looks.
Like
don't
that.
Don't like judge others if you're trying to be kind to yourself for the same reason.
Right, exactly. Because then you're not being very positive.
You're not being real. Okay?
Yeah, exactly. So mine are kind of similar to Kathy's also. Basically, not talking about your body negatively or being like, I'm this, I'm ugly, na. Like, just talk to yourself nicely. Even if you don't love your body, at least speak to yourself in a manner that like, okay, like, today's not my day, but, I'm going to work on being more accepting of myself and etc. Just don't like insult yourself all the time and put those thoughts into your head. For me, like, also not comparing yourself to other people's bodies because of social media and all of that. We probably tend to do that a lot, but I know it can happen. So it's obviously realistic for it to happen, but just realize that everybody is different. Genetically, we're all different. There is no way that you will have the same body as somebody else. So don't put those thoughts into your head. Well, try not to. And then just acknowledging, I think this comes like hand in hand, but that beauty comes in all shapes and sizes, and just because you're bigger or thinner than society's ideal doesn't make you less worthy or less valuable. Like I said, we're all made differently, and we don't all need to look like one person or one size, because if not, the world would be dull.
Exactly.
So let's just embrace the diversity.
Very true. So we're gonna get into the poll now because we kind of asked the same question. So we asked you guys, what does body positivity mean to you? So, got a lot of responses.
Okay, we love.
So first person said, learning to love every part of our body, no matter the shape. Yes, love that. Accepting all bodies regardless of size, shape, disability, etc. Yes, that's what we were saying. Loving the body that works every day to keep me breathing and healthy. I love that.
Yes.
Feeling healthy.
Okay,
that's very true. I feel like a lot of like the body positivity is like how you feel
exactly.
and how you express that towards others.
Exactly.
Being accepting of and acknowledging other body types other than my own.
That's what we said.
Feeling good about how your body feels and maintaining that as much as possible. Yes.
Sustainability.
Sustainability. Learning to appreciate all sorts of bodies as being beautiful, not just what is presented in media. Yes, period. Being comfortable in your own skin and being comfortable with others' comfort in their skin. Okay, I like this. A lot of it is like back and forth.
Yeah.
And the last one, accepting my body for what it does and what it can do for me. Okay, love this. You guys
Yeah,
need perfect
this is
responses.
great. We love.
Super happy about that. So let's get into what the body positive movement is and how it started. So we found a quote by Chelsea Cronin Gold, and they said the body positive movement was created by and for people in marginalized bodies, particularly fat, black, queer, and disabled bodies. So I feel like a lot of the big movements happen because of minority groups.
Yeah.
And it kind of gets taken over by everyone because like they can't have one thing. I'm sorry, but anyways. But yeah, that's just to say like it happened because they started to really feel like they needed to empower themselves
Yeah.
and the way they looked and
Exactly.
celebrate their own bodies.
Yeah, and they're excluded by society, so it only makes sense that this type of movement is kind of focused on
Yeah.
the minority groups and groups and
Yeah.
marginalized groups. So
Yeah. But however, like I just said, it's being adapted to be more accepting of all bodies, not
Yeah.
just those minority groups. I was kind of thinking like we've spoken about this before, but there's always like an ideal body type and it's kind of like a trend.
Yeah.
It happens every decade. Like early
Yes.
2000s, it was like the skinny,
exactly.
square bodies, and now it's more curvy,
Curvy.
slim, thick. Like you have to
Exactly.
look a certain way.
Like flat stomach, big
Yeah.
butt, big boobs.
Exactly. And it's like it feels like it's no wonder why every body type has empowered themselves with this movement, because like it's always, if it's not your body type, it's someone else's body type being celebrated, so they feel like they need to
Yeah.
push more for their bodies to be celebrated and feel more empowered, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, and I think it makes sense, and the body positivity movement is great because it's like our bodies are not a trend. So
Yeah, exactly.
And it's also very women focused, obviously. I mean, men have the pressure of looking a certain way also, but it's much more on
Intense,
women.
yeah.
Yeah. It's very focused on women, and we need to embrace ourselves and like not feel like our body's a trend and just for, I don't know, the pleasure of the opposite sex
Exactly.
eyes or whoever's, you know.
So another reason for the movement is that people have noticed that a lot of brands don't have inclusive sizing.
Yeah.
And like it's either small, medium, or large. And like
Yeah.
not every body type fits into that. So it's very hard for certain body types to shop for themselves even, or they don't feel comfortable going to stores
Yeah.
because they know they won't have their size. And it's kind of like you get body dysmorphia
Yeah.
and you kind of like just get sad basically
Yeah,
because you
exactly.
can't find something that you feel comfortable in. So that's also why this is happening. Another reason is because of social media, people have become too comfortable commenting on other people's body types. And like I actually had this experience for the first time.
God.
I posted a reel that went viral and I got so many comments calling me fat. And like
That's so like
I was like, whoa, okay, you feel like, okay.
yeah,
some of
like
them-
you're literally on a screen typing. You don't know me.
Yeah.
Even if you knew me, I mean,
Yeah.
but still.
And like I said at the beginning, I'm comfortable with myself, so
Yeah.
I wasn't like phased by
Phased,
them.
yeah.
But I was more worried as like if someone that's my size or
Sees
even bigger
that.
sees this and they're not comfortable in their own skin,
Yeah.
that's gonna really impact them.
Exactly.
So I was like immediately like, okay, delete, block these
Yeah,
people.
for
like,
sure.
I
Because
don't
what
want
if
this seen.
someone was inspired by you and wanted to post their own content
Yeah.
on social media, but they're like scared? And yes, there's always gonna be trolls. Look,
Yeah.
like it's reality. It's stupid, but it is.
Yeah,
that.
and people also don't really like when they're commenting these things, they don't realize like what you're going through, and like
impact, yeah.
there's also certain diseases that cause you to gain weight.
Exactly.
And like already if you're going through this like hard time and then you're getting people telling you like, oh, you look fat. Like,
yeah,
blah, blah.
and it could be your genetics too. It could
yeah,
be-
it could be anything. Like people don't know you.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, I feel like with the word fat, there's such negative connotation. And yes, you can be fat and beautiful, but we obviously know the people like commenting that are meaning it in the negative way, because
Yeah.
everything associated with being fat is negative at
Yeah.
the moment. Like we unfortunately haven't been able to like change the association with it.
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of plus size people are trying to take back the word and they use it to
Yeah,
describe themselves
exactly.
to feel empowered.
Yeah.
So that we can change the connotation that comes behind it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Even me sometimes, like I used to hate, and I still hate the word
Yeah.
depending on how it's said. But if I say, like if I say it like, oh, like I'm fat, but I don't hate myself, I
Yeah.
just am. But it's not, it's like, yeah, I feel like we need to redefine what it is. I mean, it's not supposed to be super negative. It's just how society made it. It's just,
Exactly.
It's just a word to describe
it became
your
an
body.
insult.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then lastly, I feel like this movement has also helped people kind of strive for more inclusivity by celebrating like certain things about their bodies that usually people would throw hate towards.
Yeah.
So like stomach rolls, hip dips, even freckles, like the tiniest thing that like,
stretch
why would you
marks.
like anything? Why would
Yeah.
you comment on it? People are trying to take that back and empower themselves, and they start posting about it and kind of like just embracing it basically, because like everyone has
them. Exactly. I think also celebrities and like Photoshop and models have had a big impact, because you would always see the Photoshop version. They had no stretch marks, they had no fat or cellulite, but in real life a lot of them do, obviously. Even thin people can have stretch marks. It's just your body.
There's actually an account on Instagram, I don't follow them, but what they do is they take celebrities pictures or influencers pictures and show what it actually is version? Before Photoshop.
How do they get like the
because I don't know, they can see like the background of certain things. Like there was a picture of Kim Kardashian, I watched the video and they zoomed in, she posted it like in front of a pool or something. And like the waves didn't match up. So then they were like, okay, let's try to switch the waves. And she literally like made her neck skinnier. Like the weirdest part, like I would have never thought.
Oh my God.
And like after seeing the before and after, it looks so like strange to me.
Exactly.
That I'm like, or that's how self-conscious she is.
Exactly.
About
that's
own
also
body.
her own issue. Like it creates issues for other people, but that's clearly because she's so...
Like, you see that like even like the most quotes beautiful person in the world has insecurities.
Oh my God. That's crazy. But I do think subconsciously it has such a big impact, because even me, you would look at it and you don't like, I don't think like, oh, they photoshopped their picture. Now I do think that, but before I didn't even realize that was a thing, you know? I was like, oh, okay. It's weird.
It is weird.
But now we talked a lot about body positivity, but there's also this thing called body neutrality. So we're kind of going to talk about the differences and what each one is. Well, we kind of said what body positivity was, but we'll reiterate. But basically, body neutrality, to define it, is kind of the in-between of loving and hating your body. So it's kind of it's based on the notion of acceptance of your body. So it's not necessarily loving everything of your body and how it looks like all the time, because that can sometimes maybe be unrealistic for a lot of people, but it's more respecting your body and what it can do rather than loving. This became popular in 2015 especially because of Anne Poirier, who's basically a eating counselor and eating disorder specialist.
That's super interesting.
Yeah, it's very cool. So they started using this phrase to help clients build a healthier balance between food and exercise, because I think to someone maybe who's not loving their body at all, it's kind of hard and drastic for them the next day just to be like, oh, I'm gonna love my body now, and just, you know what I mean, like,
for sure,
and just say these
just
affirmations. Yeah, exactly. So I think this is more of a realistic approach, because we said we can have days where we don't really like the way we look, but we don't hate ourselves, and we're still grateful for our body. And I think that's the reality of most people, is that you can't necessarily love your body in the way that it looks all the time, because you have your moments, like maybe you feel bloated, like you're comparing, and also because of the day and age we're in, like social media and all of that, it can be a bit difficult to fully do that. But she defines neutrality as basically prioritizing the body's functions and what it can do rather than the appearance. So it's more focused on like being able to do certain things with your body. Like with my hand, I can write, I can take my cup, and I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, oh my God, my brain sends messages to my body to walk. Like you just do it, but it's crazy.
Yeah, that's
but
how the body works.
Yeah, exactly. But so for some people, unfortunately, they can't do that either. But focusing on the functions and not the appearance. But we were saying, like, sometimes just focusing on the appearance can feel a bit surface level. But if we dig a little bit deeper, then we might really appreciate our body, because we're like, oh my God, I can do so many things. Why am I upset that I don't have a flatter stomach, or I have cellulite on my
That's kind of what like some of the people that answered our poll were saying. Like, it's about what your body can do for you, and not just like, it is about loving yourself, but like also appreciating like, wow, my legs, like even if I have bigger thighs, it keeps me stable, it keeps me strong. Like having like those like attributes and associated to them, rather than just like superficial, not superficial, but
it's still like looks can be important, but it's like, why can't we also love ourselves
Yeah,
with the
functionally.
things we do
Yeah.
rather than just how it looks? Because at the end of the day, how my legs look are not going to make a difference on whether I
Yeah.
can walk or not. You know what I mean? Like, but sometimes if we maybe repositions ourselves and kind of be like, whoa, I have a law and I can do a lot with my body.
Yeah.
Then that can help us. So basically just the overall notion is that according to her, we don't have to love or hate our bodies. We can kind of feel neutral about them. So that's the whole definition of body neutrality. The key difference, so the whole point was just to talk about the difference, but it's the value that you put. So for body neutral, your value isn't tied to your body. It's not tied to the happiness your body brings you. It's more tied to what you can do with it, but it's not looking at you physically and being like, oh, I'm skinny, so I'm so happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the value that you put. It's more the functionalities of your body and what you can do with it. Whereas body positivity, you believe you're beautiful no matter what, and kind of your happiness not can be dependent on it, but you kind of feel like you need to feel beautiful in your body to be happy, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Whereas like body
Yeah.
neutral, it's not necessarily like you're depending on your body and how you look in order to like move on or carry on with your life.
Yeah, exactly. So we found a graphic that we're probably going to post on our Instagram,
Yeah.
but just like to give an example, body positivity, it's you thinking to yourself, I love my legs, cellulite and all, they're beautiful. But then body neutrality is you thinking, I love my legs because they can help me run.
Exactly.
So it's associated to like a function that your body can do for you,
Yeah.
and feeling appreciative of it.
Exactly. Both of these have their benefits, I think.
Yeah.
So there's this concept, which is basically the dual approach, where self-explanatory, you kind of can take both approaches and use that to your advantage. So body positivity, like we said, it helps boost your mood while reducing negative thoughts, because you're kind of trying to validate yourself and tell yourself that, you know, you're beautiful no matter what society's expectations are, and it enables us to be happy with our bodies regardless of what anybody is saying. So you're kind of trying to take away any negative thoughts or messages and say these affirmations that I am beautiful in
Yeah.
my body, I love my body, etc. And then the body neutrality is a good approach for when you're being positive, but it doesn't always feel genuine. It feels maybe a bit forceful, like you're not actually feeling what you're
Yeah,
saying.
you're trying to say it just to like distract yourself, but you're like,
It might
okay.
not always work
Yeah.
too, right? So if it's too drastic of a step to take, body neutrality can be a good in between to start off with. And it removes the pressure of like always loving your body and like, oh my God, I don't love my body, then something's wrong with me, or like, how do I change this? You more accept yourself and you appreciate what it can do rather than always focusing on like, oh my God, I fully need to like love how I look all the time. So I think mixing both up is good. You just have to see how you're feeling, honestly. Affirmations I think are good. Like I saw somewhere where writing it down on your mirror, even if you don't necessarily feel it at the moment, but just reading it,
Yeah.
it can really help you, just to maybe help you be appreciative of your body after, like the approach of being neutral, like, oh my God, yeah, my body does all of this. I do love my body. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah, you can use both.
Yeah, I think as like a personal experience, I've said this before, but you know, like when I was in soccer, I always felt like I was the biggest and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Like I've said it before, but I think I did have a body neutral approach because I used to feel self-conscious about my legs, especially because I said it again. My shorts always felt tight on me and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's loose, blah, blah, blah. But then at the same time, like I felt like I always had the strongest kicks.
Yeah.
And was always the one like
Right.
doing like free kicks and like asking to like basically kick far and like
Yeah.
all that stuff. So like that was kind of my approach. So I'm like, okay, yeah, my thighs are huge and whatever. I can't find
Okay,
boots that fit my calves because I have these soccer legs, but it's literally like the plus side of it was like, okay, but I was able to do the kicks.
Yeah,
I was asked to
exactly,
do all the
yeah.
far stuff, you know? Like
Yeah.
so that's
and they
kind
also
of like
probably
the point of
didn't
views.
carry like proper sizing for your uniform.
Yeah, but I think it was also at that point, like I wasn't fully comfortable with like asking for bigger sizes.
size, yeah.
Because I feel like even sizing, if you're not comfortable with yourself, you put this pressure that you're like, you have to fit into a certain number.
Yeah.
But like now I'm at a point where I'm like, I just want it to fit me. So I don't care what I'm grabbing.
Exactly,
and like every brand makes their clothes differently.
Yeah.
So like sometimes one time I even had to try on like a size 16.
Yeah,
and I'm usually a 12.
Yeah.
Does that bother me? No, because I just want it to fit me.
Yeah,
like I don't care as long as they have the size available.
Yeah, exactly.
Like especially Zara, I sometimes have to try triple X.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's not my usual size, but if it fits me,
you don't think of it like, oh shit, oh my god.
I grab like 4 sizes when I go to Zara.
No, same. Honestly, me too. I never was like in general like, oh my god, I'm trying on a large or an extra large. Oh my, but now I'm noticing more that a medium used to fit me, it doesn't fit me anymore. But I don't put like any pressure. But yeah, I know for some people it's like they're embarrassed maybe or kind of like feel ashamed that they are a bigger size. And you know what?
If that is something that happens to you, you can cut your tags out so it doesn't impact you.
Yeah,
just buy what fits you and you feel comfortable in.
Yeah,
and just
cut it at the fucking store.
Yeah,
okay.
No, literally.
Chop, so you have to look at it. But I mean, look, sizes are just to identify which one is bigger or smaller than the other. So kind of try to look at it like that. But, I mean,
but it's very
that also doesn't help.
Like mental thing, like you looking at a size. That there's this one brand that I found actually. I can't remember what company it is, but they didn't have sizing.
Brandy Melville?
No. They didn't have sizing as like extra small, medium. Like it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
It was like names of goddesses. Oh. And that's how they differentiated the sizes.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So it wasn't like
you don't
telling you you're a large.
Yeah.
It was telling you you're like Venus.
Oh my god, that was so it was smart.
Really cool
because it's like basically
I have to find the brand. I'm gonna link them if I find it.
Yeah, because it's associating like your body shape with a beauty, like a different type of beauty for everyone. Like,
I can't remember. Smart. I saw it like a few years ago, and I never like thought of it.
Why are they not like? I don't know.
Universe.
Yeah, exactly. But it's so I said Brandy Melville, but it's ironic because they have one size fits all, but their stuff is all made for people that are thin, which literally makes like no sense.
The opposite of body positive.
Yeah. Okay, so next we're kind of going to talk about the criticisms of the body positivity movement because obviously some people may disagree with it or there can be maybe flaws in a movement, which is totally possible. But we kind of mentioned this with the body neutrality, but with body positivity, sometimes it may feel disgenuine that you're always trying to like shove these feelings of loving your body, but that's not how you feel. So it kind of can promote disgenuine feelings and hiding how you truly feel. So you're not actually allowing yourself to fully heal and process your feelings around your body. So that I agree with. It can be sometimes a little bit unrealistic. A lot of people can feel like it promotes obesity or an unhealthy lifestyle. I feel like this is a bit of a misconception about 100%. What the body positivity movement actually is. It's not telling you to like eat McDonald's every day and just like
I think this is actually what people use to troll. Yeah. They say like, you're loving yourself, but like you're obese. So like they use it more as an insult. You're promoting an unhealthy. Yeah, exactly. But like people also don't realize that like people that might be plus sizers or even mid-size, they might be eating really healthy and they just can't lose weight.
Exactly. They might be working out all the time. Like, how do you know?
Like even me, when I was having my my year where I was like into fitness, I did lose a bunch of weight, but then I plateaued at one point because like maybe my body just like genetically can't lose anymore or something. I don't know how it works, but like I remember when that happened, the first time I looked at the scale and I was like checking my measurements, all of that, I kind of got like discouraged because of it. So then I was like, okay, I'm not checking my measurements.
Yeah,
like,
just how you feel. Yeah.
Like I was like, I just feel good, whatever. But then for like months after that, like my weight didn't change, but I felt better because I was eating healthy, I was exercising, but like I was still mid-sized. Like it's not like I'm trying to be skinny. Yeah. I just wanted to feel good about myself.
That's not the goal. It's not going to make you healthier to be. I actually saw a TikTok which opens your eyes, but you people I think that criticize in this way that it's obesity and unhealthy, this like reminds me, she was basically a thinner individual and she was saying, I'm literally so unhealthy, I don't eat well, I don't work out, but you wouldn't think because people associate like thinner bodies as like, oh, I'm such a healthy, so you cannot assume that someone is unhealthy and promoting obesity. Like,
and also there's a huge thing around eating and like people have problems eating because of their body image issues. And there's a lot of TikToks that like a person will just like eat in front of the camera and they're like, oh, just eat with me. That's so nice. And also I feel like we're gonna talk about like celebrities and influencers that promote this positive lifestyle, but Lizzo does this really well, where she shows what she's eating and it's healthy, but then in another video she's like eating a burger.
Yeah, I love that.
She has a good balance.
Exactly.
Like, it's not about like restricting yourself from indulging in things that you like.
Exactly.
It's just like having the balance.
Yeah,
you know?
Treat yourself.
Why
not? I'm not having a burger. Are you kidding me? I'll have a salad too. But like, yeah, exactly. But it's the aspect that there's so much pressure for people that are bigger to show that they're leading a healthy lifestyle compared to people that are thinner, because you just come up with the assumption. But why? Like, no. It should not be like that. Some people, I guess, in relation to this, think that it should be called fat positivity, because, as we were saying, it's kind of made for people on one side of the spectrum, not necessarily thinner people. But to me, that kind of makes sense. It's not to exclude anyone, and we still want people that are, dealing maybe with disorders to obviously heal and get better and embrace how their body is. But they're already represented in media. They're already accepted by society. People are not necessarily watching them. Yes, there is with the people that are super thin, like, criticism, but not as much, I think, personally, as people that are bigger and pressure.
Yeah, so I agree with what you're saying. I do think it was, because we said it started for bigger body types, and it feels like they're constantly getting criticized for their bodies.
Yeah.
But I feel like now, because the ideal woman is a curvy woman.
Yeah, true. There's more pressure.
Skinnier people with like less curves or like no curves are getting the end of the stick, the short end of the stick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think like the body positive movement should be for all body types, and like kind of just, it's not about like who's better. You know what I mean?
No, exactly.
It's about literally just like feeling good in yourself.
Yeah.
So I understand the criticism and why people say it should be called fat positivity. But at the same time, it's kind of like we're in a society where we're trying to celebrate the curvy bodies so much that like they're kind of getting
excluded. Yeah. And we're not trying to exclude anyone either.
Yeah.
Because it defeats the purpose. Yeah. I feel like body positivity is like the perfect word. Why would we call it fat
like
positivity?
I see so many TikToks of like girls like I don't know, showing an outfit or like talking, and then all the guys are coming, no ass, no this, no curve.
Also, I feel like the word fat is triggering, so like I don't think that would be a good name.
Well, it was kind of coming back to like them claiming the word again.
No, exactly. But yeah, the ass and like however, I will say, although that the body trends are changing and like people want curvier, at the end of the day, the thinner woman still benefits, even if she has like a flat, or thinner person, even if they have a flat butt or no boobs, they will still be more looked upon as beautiful compared to someone that's just bigger in general, but I get
I do agree with that too, because especially like in the influencer blogger world, I find a lot of accounts that I follow are like mid-size or even curvy. They have to work 10 times harder just to like get the followers that they deserve. And a thinner person just has to post one picture and they have like 10,000 likes. You know what I mean? Like there's still like subconsciously that separation. So I do understand what you're saying.
Like I think in the younger generation, like us, millennials, whatever, like yes, we see like the curvy hourglass, Kim K, we have, I mean, there were people before Kim K that did that, but I feel like obviously people that are thinner just are having more advantages. And then there's a quote that basically says that body positivity is a subset of toxic positivity by Dr. Albers. I don't know if I'm saying it properly. Some people feel that it blames people for how they feel based on their mindset, and it could also push people into trying to feel something that they don't. So I think it maybe goes into like disgenuine and feeling like kind of fake feelings just to force yourself to think something about you.
Which sometimes though, I feel like it works.
Yeah, like it until you make it.
Exactly. If you keep repeating like positive affirmations to yourself, even though you don't believe it, at a certain point, you'll start to feel it.
Yeah, because the thing is, I feel like also the reason why you may not like your body came from people making you think you were ugly because you were this size. So if you reverse it in a way, right? Because it's from what you heard from social media or read.
Yeah.
It wasn't maybe your original thoughts, because we're all influenced. That's how we come up with these things about ourselves. So we're kind of just reversing the psychology in a way. So yeah, I think it could work. I think using like both approaches really helps. Okay, so some brands that actually encourage body positivity well. So obviously we're talking about Lizzo a lot, so I had to put Yitty in there. It's a shapewear brand she came up with, and I think it's shapewear can be tough because it's made to kind of like make you feel more comfy, but it sometimes only caters to people that are thinner, like people that have more fat on their body or are bigger. It doesn't always work effectively. I think Lizzo really came out with a brand that any shape or size can feel good in.
Yeah.
And it's really nice shapewear, and I think she does it really well, and it's harder to find for people that are a bit bigger. We put in Fenty because Rihanna has her lingerie line, and even through her fashion shows, you can see she has
a diverse amount of bodies and even like different genders.
Yeah. We had seen in her fashion shows that she was really in lingerie, especially didn't
she
see
even
that
had
much.
a pregnant model. I've never seen that. I was like, okay.
She really had a range of diversity. Dove is a soap company, but the reason why I brought it up was because they have a really famous ad campaign that they did, and it was like years ago, so it was more new, the body positive, but they had like real women, so not like models or like Photoshop.
Dove, I feel like Dove has always been
they've been very good with their marketing and all of that. I hope they're actually inclusive. I said marketing because ad campaign, but they had like people of different skin colors, different races, different body types, dressed kind of in the same thing, and just showing the diversity and like real. So if you need soap, they're great. Aerie introduced kind of a movement called Aerie Real in 2018. So they really started promoting body positivity, self-love, and they created a training program both in store and online. And it was called the Don't Change You, Change Your Bra campaign. I like that.
Yeah.
So basically saying that you don't need to change, you just need to find a better bra or something better to fit your needs. And they also introduced support in the fitting room, which really encourages customers to leave sticky notes with positive affirmations in the fitting room. So this is really cool. And Aerie, like they're pretty known now, especially for like, I think their leggings and things went like viral on TikTok or something.
Aerie's very comfy first,
yeah.
you know?
Okay, yeah, exactly. So
I just bought their underwears and they're so comfortable, guys. So if you
I've never bought anything from them, but
their underwears are so comfortable.
Very cool. But yeah, those are some of the brands. There's also Nike that I'll just mention because they have more variety in sizes now. They have more plus size mannequins, but I'm a little skeptical of Nike sometimes. But listen, if they're giving variety and range,
like they're
it's a big brand.
A good step.
It is a big brand, so I think people like to hear that they're taking those steps too.
Okay, so on that, we're going to talk about influencers and celebrities that you should be following to be more inspired. So obviously, we mentioned Lizzo. I'm not going to talk about
we
that
already
anymore.
know.
Mindy Kaling, actually, she's an advocate and she's posted a lot about like how she loves her body and she's not like the ideal shape or anything. So love that. Lily Reinhart, who plays Betty in Riverdale.
Yeah.
She had a comment to say about Kim K losing weight.
Which I agree.
Yeah, agreed. Just to fit into the Marilyn dress.
Like starving herself.
And she's like, you're basically promoting that girls should starve themselves just to fit into a dress.
Yeah.
Like,
did you see how she was like, I'm probably never getting invited?
So she's like, this is my last Met Gala. But you know what? Speak out. Speak out.
Yo, she did it. Yeah.
Yeah. Serena Williams, which that's big because first of all, she's a Black woman.
Yeah.
And also she's very muscular.
She's not like,
because she's an athlete, right? So that's obviously not the ideal kind of look. So she like but she empowers herself through that and like shows that like women can be muscular too. Like all that, you know?
So it's a different side.
Yeah. Hilary Duff. So Hilary Duff, because she had kids and like just like as you grow older, I feel like it's easier to gain weight and stuff. So she's slim thick right now. She's like curvy. So she also like there was a paparazzi pictures taken of her at the beach and like you saw her rolls and like she wasn't really like looking her best and she's like, I don't know what you want me to tell you because like this is who I am.
Me. Yeah, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, exactly. So love that. And then just to mention a few influencers. So our queen, Sarah Asige. Okay, we love her. She's a Montreal influencer. She's been making it. She's been gaining her followers and she deserves. She makes a lot of body positive reels and stuff like that, and like how to love your body. So I feel like it's just good inspiration just to see those reels and see her.
Exactly. Yeah.
I also want to mention Victoria Carnevale. I don't know why I said it like an English woman. Carnevale. Okay. I actually know her personally. And then we kind of like, it was through mutual friends. And then we never really spoke past that. And now we're mutuals on Instagram. But she's a plus size blogger. I love her stuff. Her fashion, first of all, love it. But her too, she gets a lot of trolls on her reels. She gets a lot of hate comments. And she's not shy to like put them on her stories and be like, look what they're saying. And then she kind of says how she feels about it and like how you shouldn't feel bad because blah blah blah. She's really good at like calling people out and stuff like that. Exactly. So that's why I love to follow her.
Trolls get paid to freaking comment?
No, they just have no life. Yeah. There's also the TikToker Remy Bader.
She's so funny.
I love her. She does the realistic hauls, if you've ever seen those. She puts on clothes from different brands to see like, okay, this is an extra large, which I usually buy, but like it doesn't fit me. And this is like this, like she's all so that funny, stuff. Yeah. And then I don't know if this is actually her name because I just thought of it off the top of my head, but if I just started following a YouTuber, I think her name is Alex Michael May. If it's not, anyways, we'll have it listed in our post on Instagram. But she is also I think she's a plus size or mid-size blogger, something like that. And she is so positive. Like she's not always happy, but she always tries to see the bright side of things. And like she'll talk about how she's feeling sometimes, and then like she has a lot of hauls and stuff like that. So like I like if you're into fashion, I like following her. But yeah, those are just.
There's also Nabella.
Oh, Nabella!
Remember? Yeah, I love her. Like she does YouTube, but she also has probably dealt with like body positivity and like feeling good. So she does some content.
I follow her more on TikTok.
Yeah, because she's more like, makeup oriented, but she obviously talks about like what it's like being like a plus size person. There's another one that I know Sarah posts a lot with, Sarah Astige.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Yeah, but Brianna, I forgot her name. Anyways, we will.
Yeah. Yes. Like I was trying to think off the top of my head, but a lot of them I can't remember their names, but I know their face.
Exactly.
So if I see them on Instagram, I'm just gonna make a list and then we're gonna post it either in our stories or in an actual post. To end this off, we're just gonna give some tips on how to adopt being body positive. First, find things you love about your physical appearance and say them out loud. So that's just like kind of manifesting your thoughts in a way and just being like, I love my long legs. My shoulders look great in the sleeveless shirt. Yeah. That's a big one because I feel like a lot of people actually don't like their arms. Yeah, and I don't like, because I've never felt that way. Sometimes I see people posting about it and I was like, I didn't even think like that's a thing.
Yeah. Like not liking your arms? Yeah, I don't like my arms.
I know. But
thinking, like you didn't look at looking at them, you didn't think that they would not
like I wouldn't look at your arms and be like, ugh,
gross,
Safi. I hope not. Sure. But I mean, like if it's something that you've never thought about yourself, and then you see someone else call it out, I feel like sometimes it's kind of a shock. Like, I didn't even think that that's something you could be self-conscious
about because you're not necessarily self-conscious. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, the little tangent there. Repeat positive affirmations throughout the day. Like, I'm happy the way I am. I look beautiful. Just like positive vibes, you know? We have a lot of episodes on self-love. So I think if you want to get more positive, like there was this one episode
and general
that we
affirmations we had done.
We've done like a list of affirmations. So you can go see our self-love playlist on YouTube. And then stop your mind when it starts to make comparisons between your body and someone else's, because there's no perfect body type. So especially if we're looking at celebrities and like we were saying, like Kim K, like she's the slim, thick body type. Like sometimes like you get into your headspace and you're like, wow, I wish I looked like this.
Intense now. Like,
I know, but at the beginning, like when she first started getting popular, wow, it was more like beautiful. I wish I looked like this. Blah blah blah. Let's not do that.
Yeah, you know? Exactly. Watch like videos, whether it's online or, I mean, yes, they would be online. Focus on more promoting body positivity and self-love. So maybe focus on influencers and YouTubers that are actually promoting that, not people, or that maybe are more similar to you or talk about it more and struggle. So that way you're kind of relating to that and you can see how to get some advice also. And it just focuses, you see another perspective rather than always seeing like the thin YouTuber who maybe is insecure about their body, but not in the same way that you are, let's say. This is similar, but basically who you're following on social media. Follow people that inspire you. I kind of did that too. People that are more body positive, talk about it more. So that way you're not comparing yourself to unrealistic images of beauty,
Yeah.
let's say. And it doesn't make you feel like you always need to be like, oh, why am I not like them? No. Or you're only seeing one side of the spectrum when there's so many different shapes and sizes. So yeah, try to follow different influencers that can inspire that. And then lastly, but not least, focus on being healthy rather than thinner or losing weight. Don't focus on a number. Focus on how you feel about yourself. And just, doing some movement, eating well,
Yeah. You have to have that shift in mindset, because or else it's going to be toxic. If you're trying to lose weight and like you're focused on only seeing the number drop, you're going to be toxic towards yourself.
Exactly. And you're not going to feel good about it, and you're not going to be focused on the right thing. So just focus on feeling good. That's the end of our episode. So really this episode was about feeling good. We hope you guys enjoyed it, and we hope it helped and we gave you some helpful tips. As usual, you can leave us comments, feedback. Let us know if you want to see more episodes like this, and follow us on all our socials at Wild Thoughts Pod, and our individual ones will be linked down below.
Yes. And if you guys have any like influencers that you follow that make you feel good, like comment it on our YouTube or on our posts, like on Instagram, so we can also start following them, because we'd love that.
Yes. Okay.
All right. See you in the next one. Bye.